In this video we dive into the most exciting highlights from IFA 2024. This year marked our first ever visit at the world's leading tech show in Berlin, and it was really interesting with many things to see. From groundbreaking gadgets to futuristic innovations, you will be taken through a quick recap of the journey we had. And with around 10 indoor kilometers per day, this expo was not an easy one for a first-time visitor. Luckily there was a Red Bull bar at the Creators Hub that saved us many times, and it really took us a few days to fully cover the whole exhibition, since you don't just look at things but often end up trying them out and talking with the representatives to learn something new. So starting with probably the most advanced and jaw-dropping category, the robotics. Leading the flying drone sector, DJI had quite a large exhibition with some very large drones and also the most smallest ones, featuring the newly introduced DJI Neo, which launched just a day before the IFA. But robot dogs here really stole the show, with Unitree showcasing a really affordable variant of something similar to Spot, which we have seen from Boston Dynamics before. It has a camera on the front, and the spinning thing you see is a 3D LiDAR meant for obstacle detection, just like on some robot vacuum cleaners out there. In the live showcase we saw it do many cool tricks, and it looked to be pretty capable. I would love to see it doing even faster moves outside of the exhibition area, and maybe someday also in the channel. With this being the cheapest version, there were also many other models, for example one having 4 motor-powered wheels on each leg, and they also showcased the humanoid robots, where usually things get quite scary, since it actually has human-like movements and is able to stand on its own. I also got a quick robotic crash course while watching, and from what they told me is that these currently lack any autonomous capabilities and are fully human operated, but we will see about that in the future. The biggest robot of them all really made even me uncomfortable, since it was around 2 meters in size and it was looking pretty angry. And no, these are not machine guns in the hands, these are placeholders for possible hand mods or additions. And right now there is no real world use case for these robots, so they are kind of proof of concept really. In case you like smaller dogs, Hangbot presented their miniature version of a robot dog featuring musculoskeletal limbs. And while being smaller, these robots seem to have more relaxed and streamlined movements, likely due to them weighing less. It gave me some childhood robot dog toy flashbacks, but like now this had evolved into a whole different level, as this one also had a color display in the head, which displayed a red Cyclope eye. They also showcased an AI camera person recognition system, but hard to say if it was related to the robot at all. And even Techno had their showcase with a robot dog running and jumping in a closed ring. But compared to the first one, this one actually had a head, making things look somewhat less scary and more natural. Techno's main focus is on mobile devices, and we saw a Geekom and Techno collab Kickstarter project, a compact gaming PC with a small and pretty water cooling system, which cools an i9 CPU H variant and a full-blown RTX 4060 in such a small form factor, which is really impressive. More into the PC world, we saw some pretty high-tech IIO CPU coolers with displays from a brand called Tacomas, and from what they told me, they actually originate from Cooler Master, and both their IIO fans and case fans had an interesting magnetic mounting mechanism, which I would like to see more of in the future. MSI also showcased many laptops and an engineering sample of their second generation MSI Claw gaming handheld, with much bigger display and a refreshed Gen 2 Intel chipset. But we might see this launch only by the end of the year. And there was also a limited edition Fallout version of the first gen MSI Claw, which you could not really buy, but you would have a chance to win one when buying an MSI laptop. With computer systems and peripherals being showcased quite often, keyboard game was also very strong here, with many brands showcasing lots of interesting themes and designs. I also got to try out many types of different switches paired with some interesting looking keycaps, because the main purpose is to mix, match and end up even making your own design. And I actually got attracted to some of these designs so much that even I had a hard time trying to pick my favorite. But these brands are making a clear statement. Keyboard is something more than just a typing board and should have high customizability to make it truly personal, and I really get this logic. From Instagram to real life, I finally got to experience the out-of-this-world designs from Gravastar, featuring speakers, computer peripherals and even robotic chargers. And wherever you would go in IFA, you could see dark rooms with futuristic light installations, featuring addressable RGBs, LED tubes, and other elements that really lit up the show. There was much to see from big brands like Gowie, which had some nice lights to showcase outside and lure you in to see their futuristic looking gaming room, where you could experience morphing rays of light in lots of different shapes and sizes, with high attention to detail. We also saw a lot of things from Yeelight, the brand whose cubes and light bars I had featured on the channel before. They were preparing us for the cozy season with some of their existing products as well as new entries for outdoor and Christmas lights, for which I already have some upcoming content ideas. New models also featured some bright indoor lights for the ceiling to lighten up those grey autumn days. Mobile accessories were in the spotlight and present in most of the exhibition booths here. There were some interesting finds like this brand named Pitaka, which make phone cases and accessories out of real aramid fiber. They showcased some samples of these raw materials, which was pretty interesting to see. Also, each of their cases have a unique name, and when we left, they gifted us an iPhone case called Starpeak. There is also a short about this for you to check out. With gallium nitride tech progressing, we saw many new releases this year of very powerful charging stations, as well as power banks, and magnetic wireless chargers seem to be the next big thing, thanks to the adoption of Qi 2 wireless standard, at least from the side of charging brands. From Bayesias we see 2-in-1, 3-in-1 and even 5-in-1 charging stations, with foldable rotating charging pads, built-in retractable cables, and a new lineup for iPhone 16 with super compact adapters, and really soft and colorful magnetic charging cables, which support crazy outputs of up to 240 watts. With a big announcement, I was excited to see the world's first flying car, but it turned out to be just marketing and showcasing the idea instead, because while talking to some company members in their native language, they said, quote unquote, that there will be some dudes speaking about it and it would be too expensive to bring the real thing here. So this was just a scaled down model for the showcase, and if we would like to really see it in action, we should go to California, which was pretty upsetting. And this was surely just a glimpse of the coolest things we saw at IFA Berlin. There was so much of everything that it would be impossible to show it all. But you can also check out my shorts for daily experiences with some extra footage, like moments from the Samsung exhibition. I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I look forward to possibly having some of these products to be featured in the channel. Let me know which one you like the most and would like me to review on another video.